Welcome back to Trek Geeks Game Night. This is the second episode of our second session of this episode. Roughly, what we had last episode was that the Hathaway was was on the way to New Sydney to attend a conference. The first officer was sent ahead to prepare for their arrival and set up basically the conference. And what happened was there was a strange message coming out of the neutral zone, or I'm sorry, out of Klingon Space, and I'll bring that map up right here. Okay, and I'll actually zoom in for the players and the viewers. So, slide this over. So, basically, we had a situation where there was a message being generated from roughly... Zoom in again. This area here being pinged, and the ship was ordered or suggested by Federation to go and investigate the message. The message had stated that the Klingon High Chancellor, or the Klingon Chancellor, had been killed. In the process of trying to determine what was going on, the only thing they got back was basically gravitational anomalies. And due to this gravitational anomaly, they weren't able to get clear messages. Well, in the process of being inside of Klingon space and searching for this message and what was going on, due to the fact that the Enterprise had been stolen by Kirk. This is roughly taking the same place that Star Trek 3 is happening. They were afraid it might have been Kirk going in there. So they were in the nebula, and they were trying to scan in and figure out what was creating and what had happened. And they got surprised by a Katinga cruiser. And they met Brigadier Chang. And he had received similar messages. He, in his Klingon bloodlust type of way, assumed that it was our ship and proceeded to open fire. The first strike seriously hurt the Hathaway. The Hathaway fired back, and feeling that the ship was a little slightly overmatched, they left at high speed to go to New Sydney, which is here. And where the first officer is, they sent a message ahead to him saying that they were arriving and they may be bringing friends. And that's where we left off, that the ship was in transit, heading to New Sydney, and they were going to attempt to do some work on the ship. Now the ship's shields are back online and energy is rebuilding, but your shields are only down to 2, and I believe you had some breach damages. And with that, I'm going to bring in the crew. So you guys are online, and I believe we had some breaches, did we not? On your ship?
I thought we got those fixed.
Yeah, I don't have anything in my notes, so it must not have happened.
Didn't we have full shields and no breaches?
Yeah, Grok worked some Grok magic for us.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened at all. I believe I have my notes here. The problem is my notes aren't super organized some days.
So full shields it is.
No. Unfortunately for you guys, your shields and your shields and stuff are carried over from the last time we.
I tried.
I believe this is.
Shields shows 2 dots.
Yeah, I gave your shields back on. So I brought your shields back online, and I gave you full power, even though your power was not real great. But I let you rebuild your power. But because of that, your power was able to rebuild. You weren't able to go at full speed. So what's basically happening is that your your speed was lower. So, as far as you knew, the last thing you determined was that the Katinga was catching you but went to cloak. So with that, I'll give you guys an opportunity to do some role-playing / repairs / preparation for when you arrive at New Sydney to hopefully assist you with the coming battle, what you expect. So with that, I turn it over to the crew. What kind of things would you like to do? And I'll give each of you, because you're going as fast as you can, so it's not going to take long. New Sydney is not that far away. So I'll give each of you a opportunity to prepare something for your arrival, whether that's do a repair, reinforce shields, do something, or give yourself an advantage in the coming fight. So I'll start at the bottom of the list, which would be the Doctor. What would you like to do, Doctor, to prepare the ship for inevitable combat?
Prepping sick bay, I think, will be my top priority.
Okay. What kind of things would you like to do?
Make sure that we have the staff on hand ready to go. Make sure that any of the equipment, additional equipment that we're going to need is ready. And I wouldn't mind, if at all possible, maybe getting some of the additional computers that we have there, if we're able to link them in to to the bridge to maybe assist with
damage control.
yeah, assist those who are there, and maybe like damage control, maybe with sensors, to help those out that are on the bridge until I do start getting
So
people here in sick bay.
maybe to help guide you a little bit. Are you saying like you're putting maybe a small medic team on the bridge to assist anybody on the bridge that may get hurt in this? Is that the kind of thing you're trying to say? Or because if you want a computer tie-in, that's going to take like work. But if you're like just doing something,
I didn't know if maybe it might have already been where I could be helping more with the science part of it. So like, I don't know. I know that we were able to do assists to help those that are actually doing stuff. I didn't know if that was possible to do that from sick bay through my computer, that I'd be able to help assist them there, or do I actually need to physically be on the bridge?
The game mechanics, you'd have to actually be on the physical bridge. But if, like I said, if you want to send like a medical team up there or a medic team up there to do minor stuff like that, you can do that. And you're prepping. You're prepping. You know, you're also prepping sick bay. So for that, okay, what we'll do is your advantage is that you get to re-roll until this combat session is complete, or until this scenario is complete. You will be able to re-roll 1 die each roll. So like if you roll 2 die to try to heal somebody, you can choose to re-roll one of those dice if one of them comes up bad. How's that sound?
Okay.
That's
each roll. Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down.
Now, and that pertains to just healing and medical.
Your specialty.
My focus.
Your focus is not assisting. Okay.
Sounds good.
Good. We'll move up to Weps. What are you doing?
Do you mean me?
Yes.
Weapons or security? Yeah.
Security. I'm sorry. Security officer.
I am going to place heavily armed security teams at all critical junctures that we can possibly cover in the ship in case we are boarded.
Okay, so in case you're boarded, you're going to set up... Okay. I like that. So your advantage in that is going to be if you go to hand-to-hand combat. Okay, so if you go into melee situation, you already prepped your teams with basically body armor. We're going to make any melee attack against your players, or against your NPCs and your security teams, 1 more difficulty in a melee attack.
Cool.
1 more difficulty for the bad guys.
Yes. For them to hit you.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Because I'm figuring if they bring like batleths and stuff like that, you're going to have
Yeah.
body armor, so it'll be harder to hit you and do damage. So, okay, I like it. And now we'll move up to ops.
I'm going to be working on implementing the scanning that can possibly detect a cloaked ship that we did a while back ago when we fired on something that may or may not have been there, just to see if we can get the advantage of detecting Chang's ship before it arrives and starts firing on us.
Okay. So, I will give you that ability to -1 difficulty, but here's the problem. Because this one here is going to give you like a severe advantage, because you're going to get first shot then. If during your scan, okay, it's never -1 difficulty to detect a cloaked ship, but during your scan, if you get a difficulty or basically a 20, okay, if you get a complication, it's going to reduce your sensors ability by 1 on the ship.
For how long? Or forever?
Till repaired.
Okay.
Okay, I'm writing that down here. Hold on. Complication. -1, 2 sensors. Okay. And we move up the chain here. Chief Engineer, what would you like to do?
Just to clarify, we are currently the ship is at full power.
Yeah, your energy banks are basically filled up. You chose to go ahead and reduce your a reduced warp and then fill your capacitors, because you either drained it and ran, or go a little slower and charge them.
Okay. Well, I don't think engines are going to be useful in the upcoming fight. I don't think, and since our power levels are good, I've got an idea, and it's just crazy enough to work. But I don't know if I'm going to have time.
Grok magic.
I don't know if I'm going to have time to implement it, so I'm going to oppose it to the GM. Would it be possible for Grok to use some of his holographic dabbling to temporarily convert the deflector into a hollow emitter to project a fleet of Federation starfleets dropping out of warp?
If we could do that, it would take a lot of time. Just because, I mean, the deflector dish is an energy projector, but it's not like an energy former. Does that make sense? The dish shoots out outwards.
Just the projection of a bunch of ships dropping out of warp.
Right, but it's a real tight beam. Like it's a spotlight out of the deflector dish. So you couldn't do a fleet. The most you could do is maybe a second ship if you had time. Because, like I said,
time for a second ship.
You'd have to roll something ridiculous.
There is precedent for this from Star Trek.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
I
one?
think Treknobabble supports this.
You give me an example.
Voyager Basics Part 1.
Okay, see, you said the V word, so everything's kind of
Quit hearing la 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 la.
it's kind of fuzzy in my world.
So in that episode, it ended up not working, not because of that. They ended up still getting defeated, but not because they had the holographic projection. But Voyager did have holographically projected. They had a couple ships that they were able to project through the deflector to make it look like there was an armada.
Wow.
Yep.
That makes me not like. I mean, yay Voyager.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay. Well, your energy dishes aren't anywhere near as powerful because you're not a. I mean, that's 40 or 50 years, 60, 70 years down the road. This ship is not nowhere near that advanced. So, I'll give you a chance to do one.
Technology, but
What? Yeah, I mean, you don't even have projector holographic technology. You have inside of a room. So
yeah.
What if we
So-
just use it to do energy signatures?
You could do energy signatures because that's all it really comes out of that is energy. It's a plow.
I think this is a great idea that we could use to definitely try to divert some attention away from us. And I think Grok can come up with a way to make it work that works in this time period with our technology.
Because he's
How-
amazing.
How about if we use Sydney? It's a space station, correct?
It's a planet. It's a
planet.
whole planet. Yep.
There's no space station or satellites in orbit.
Well, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Do I
How
get to
about
use it?
how about if we sent use the deflector to shoot out a beam and have each of the satellites in orbit kind of like grab the signal, bounce it off to the next one, because if it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a network of satellites,
Mm-hmm.
but transform at least through sensors, transform each of those satellites into a starship. Sensor wise,
You can have it try to alter its energy to represent because most of them are running off of most satellites nowadays are in Star Trek are running off something other than nuclear or hydrogen. So yeah, we can do that. So if we do that, we'll say. You know what? We'll say for their sensors, so -1 sensors to cruiser to shoot. Okay. Cool. Okay. So next one up is the XO. I know you're on New Sydney, but you have your cool little ship. So what kind of cool things are you doing?
Well, I'm waiting for the party. So I don't know what's happening, so I'm probably just having some tea. I'm getting the ships into orbit.
Okay.
I'm letting local... and I wanted to pick up on what Grok was asking. What is the local space infrastructure which we have at New Sydney?
So New Sydney is a loose, like a loose part of the Federation. They're not on there. They're like allied type thing, right at this point. And they have their own smaller ships, like patrol crafts. They're not quite. They're nowhere near the size of what you would consider a modern starship, but they are militarized, so they pack a little bit more punch. They're not going to be able to go. They don't have warp capability. They just have system capability. And then there's a couple stations that hold them around the planet.
All right. Am I able to use any of those defense infrastructure which they have?
Yeah. I mean, this New Sydney has been told that this is on the way, but they haven't had much time to prepare for it. So they have committed that they will send these patrol crafts to assist you, but it won't be for a little while. I mean, they still have to get all the crews together, get them up to the station, make sure all the things are prepped. I mean, because they're in Federation, they are in a lower stature when it comes to external threats. Internally, they're very tight, but external threats, it takes a little bit of time for them to respond. So yes, they have committed, but it's not going to be immediate.
Okay. How much do I know what I'm facing?
All you got.
I only know that there's...
They told you basically brief, or pretty much a full brief, that they have a upgraded D7 cruiser equivalency coming and following them, and they have already been shot upon, and they are retreating for support. And with that, here is your shuttle. So we're going to say you're straight in space waiting for them to arrive.
Nice. Well, in that case, I'm gonna prep my squadron, and I'll coordinate with the local defense forces to get ready, and we'll set. Let me see what the system has to offer. We'll set up in 2 groups.
Okay.
I'll have me on where I'm right now, but I would like to have them be further down, waiting.
What's that?
Let me give you the exact grid.
Okay. Who's going there?
The New Sydney
Oh,
forces whenever
once they
they
show
come
up.
out.
Okay. So you want them to concentrate where?
Put them at R24.
R20 right here. You see my little beeper?
Pinging. He's pinging.
I see the bing. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's when they'll show up. R24. Okay. I wrote that down. I'm getting your stats in here real quick. Just like the big ship has. So your shields. Your shields are blue. So you got 8 of 8. Man, that is pretty strong for that little ship. But your power is 7 of 7. Okay. There you go.
Oh, it's also like 4 craft and 1 essentially. So.
Well, yeah, that's why they work together. But every time you get hit, your damaged projection goes down by 1. That's why you get to start off with a certain amount of ability, a lot stronger than what a shuttle should. Okay.
But a little coupled up piece of awesomeness. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, and then and Captain.
I'm going to be working with the computer to analyze the data from our encounter so far with Chang's ship and combine that with the analysis of everything we know about the Katinga class and Chang to come up with a better tactical profile and try to figure out any weaknesses of the ship. I also have a talent as Star Trek expert, so that should help me in this endeavor.
Wait, did you say you have a talent as Star Trek expert?
Starship expert.
Oh, Starship. I could have swore you said Star Trek.
Star Trek. She got some expertise
I heard
there.
Star Trek expert too. So don't feel bad.
Whatever. I'm tired.
I was
To be
like,
fair, she is also a Star Trek expert.
Yes, she's captain.
I was like, holy crap, lore garbage. Okay. So what that'll allow you to do is don't forget you have the ability to issue a command to other players, the other crew members, so that they can act a second time of their abilities without a negative. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you a third ability to do that.
Okay.
So, or not the third ability, but your turn, your ability to direct, I'm going to give you 2 abilities to direct. +1 ability to direct with no negative. Okay. Okay. So, with that, let's get into the fun. Let me zoom out a little bit here so everybody on the stream can see. There we go. So, here's what we have. So, here's the Hathaway. And then we have the Hathaway's here. Spear is here. And we're going to roughly say that because of constant communication, you are going to drop out of warp. Okay? But here's the catch. Before you have the ability to drop out of warp, okay, you were not the faster of the 2 ships. And the Katinga actually arrived before you. Now, here's the thing. You have prepped yourselves. So, with that, the Hathaway's not here yet. She's still in warp. With the ability to detect the Katinga, because the spear's in place, the XO has a choice. He either gets to A, take a shot on it, or B, send messages to the Hathaway to allow them to land where they want. In other words, drop tactically to get engagement at whatever they decide. Or you get to shoot. Which one do you want to do?
Oh boy, these decisions.
Management's
1.5
hard.
of the way. 1.5 away.
Okay, and then in that case, then Captain, you pick your grid where you want to drop. Now remember,
Do we have...
we set up. Oh wait, I think I have an overlay. Let me put this overlay down. Okay, have an overlay. That's your space momentum that you can spend, and it's ground momentum. I thought I had an overlay for ranges. Guess not. I'm gonna have to build that. I'm sorry. I thought I had built that, or maybe I just didn't import it. We said 1 to 2 is close. 3 to 5 was medium. And 5 to 12 was long. Okay? I'm going to write these up in an overlay so we can put it on the screen. Okay? Let me move that over so it's not blocking the stream. Okay. So, you can drop it close range, medium range, or long range. Or anything outside of 12, he can't even shoot at you.
Okay, where is he?
He's on the. Do you see him on the screen? He's 2 grids off
Oh,
the.
there he is. I was scrolled down below where he was.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to drop K35.
Are you able to move your ship? You should be.
Yeah. Actually, we'll go K33.
Okay, so you're going right into close range. Cool. Okay. So. Okay. So I will let you act first. Since he didn't attack, he didn't take your half of the attack. He just informed you. So, what would you like to do, Captain and crew?
Crew, do we have any bright ideas?
Grok, I guess, stands up and says, Captain, I think I can use the satellites in orbit to project an energy signature to make it look like a fleet of starships are here.
That's a great idea, Grok. Get working on that.
Oh, okay. No, you already got that taken care of. That was you. All your preparation is instantly free. It's done. You did it in transit.
Okay, well, I'd like him to actually make it happen.
Push the button.
Okay.
Push the button.
Is it a red button?
Yeah. No. I mean,
no,
you
you
can
can push that one. You can push that one. It's not red. It's more pinkish.
You can.
But that doesn't go with the color scheme on the bridge.
It was a new button.
Okay. So that's a free action. Like I said, you guys had that already prepped. It's turned on, so you actually still get to go again.
Okay, if we don't have any other bright ideas, I'm going to go ahead and shoot them.
I
Any
like it.
objections?
I like
Very
it.
savage.
Who are you who is shooting? Which one of your crew members is shooting? Or are you doing it yourself, or are you telling the XO to shoot his ship?
Can we shoot with the XO at the same time?
No, that's 2 actions.
Okay, then Mr. Etrigan, line it up.
Okay. This is what I like to see. So, we need a roll to make sure you hit the ship. And you did. Okay, so you make sure. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and do a roll. And what we're going to roll here is... Sorry, I'm getting this stuff up so I can see it all. I need you to roll for combat. I need you to roll a weapons security. Do you have any concentrations that are going to help you with this? And at close range, using phasers, you only need 2 successes. And don't forget, you also still have 2.
That's the ship's role as weapons security.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not on my sheet.
Ship's role is weapons and security, and for you it is. I'm pulling up character sheet, and for you it is control security.
Okay, Grok, will you please assist?
Sure.
right.
What I'm rolling?
a control security.
And I'm going to use combat tactics.
Okay, so that means it gives you a focus. So that means you're going to activate a focus.
Is that 3 days?
No, it's still only 2, but you select focus, so it expands your critical success out
Gotcha.
to your security number.
That was great.
Okay,
As
so
an assist, I don't get to use any focuses. Is that correct?
if you have a focus that would apply to this, you could still use your focus for this.
I don't think electroplasma power systems.
Not exactly.
Close, but
That'd be a bit of a stretch. So just give me there. Oh my God.
ha.
So the security guy runs his hands across the panel, and in his excitement, he hits the button and did not have a solid lock. However, Grok leans over or not. Are you on the bridge, Grok? Or are you in engineering? We didn't establish this.
I when I was talking to the captain, I was on the bridge. So
Okay. Well, your stations
I
aren't
guess I
that far
pushed
from.
the button. So yeah, I'm nearby.
Well, yeah. You're sitting at your console and you see that his lock's off, and you basically manually adjust the lock. So it hits, no problem. The ship takes care of this. In fact, not only did you hit, you get 2 successes. You get 2 momentum. The problem is you got a complication, so you want one of those momentums to cancel the complication.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you get one more. Momentum, and you get a hit. So with that, you need to roll the amount of damage dice your ship shoots on phasers. Which I believe is 5. Let me look at. Does it say how many you get? You guys have your ship up?
I think it says 8.
Oh wow, are you that strong?
Yeah, it says phaser banks 8.
Then it's 8. So down on the bottom left, it says challenge dice. Click it. Select 8.
Who doing?
You do. You are the
I got.
successful.
Oh, sorry, already did it.
Oh, okay, that works. So you're getting
Captain's a little
1,
bloodthirsty.
2, 3, 4, 5, and an effect. So the effect allows you to punch through their armor. So
Sweet.
so either way, it's basically 7 because either it's -2 armor or +2 damage. So it doesn't matter. So you do 7 damage. So let's bring up the. Where did it go? There it is. Bring up the Katinga's values, and it has a scale 3. So you slough off 3 damage. It sloughs off 3 damage, but it still takes 4. And its shields weren't completely healed before because they went to cloak and couldn't work on them. I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's one short of actually causing a breach, but his shields are severely damaged. You hit the phasers. Oh, go ahead.
But we can use our momentum to add an extra damage.
Yes, you can. You want to spend a momentum?
Yes, let's bonus damage hull breach this sucker.
Okay, so that momentum you rolled in, you instead go ahead and breach. So with that, we will roll a d20 to figure out what you guys breached on. A 6, I believe, is sensors. Guess I should have got this out. Okay, so you cause another breach. So for the most part, the NPCs don't take actual system breaches. You just got to get a number of breaches equal to its hull number. Its hull numbers are 3. You have 2 breaches on it. So one more breach, and this ship has a possibility of going poof.
Oh.
Yes, let's please change the future.
Just because the ship blows up doesn't mean everybody dies on it.
Oh, come on.
How many ships has
Isn't that
has
normally what
Starfleet
happens?
lost? And yet,
Klingon
Picard's still
ships
alive.
don't have escape pods, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that is canon.
Good.
But they
sorry.
do have transporters. So, here we
Long
go.
distance transporters?
That's so dishonorable
Yes,
to
according
play
to
fight.
according to Into Darkness. They
Into
exist.
Darkness is a different timeline.
Oh.
We're
Yeah.
not in the Kelvin verse.
Okay. So, with that, it's their turn.
But I wanna.
Flip the
Oh.
dogs before.
See? Now. See, it goes back and forth. So with that, that's another thing. We got to go ahead and take energy off you guys. Settings. 8 down to 8. Okay. There we go. So the Katinga goes and cloaks.
Cowards.
Okay. Katinga cloaks. So that's his action.
That's okay. I have a solution for that.
I should have fired when I had the chance, but no, I had to be the good
Better
commanding,
man.
Yeah,
You
well,
had to
I
be a
wouldn't
team
say better
player.
man. But there's no I in team.
Okay, so their action was to cloak. So what is your team's action? Your turn. Federation's turn.
Captain, I believe I can scan and detect them when they cloak, but it does have a chance of damaging our sensors.
Make it so.
Okay.
May I
So
interject?
Yes, you
Can
may.
May I prepare myself to run an attack pattern as soon as you guys do your scan? Then we might be luckier in getting him right away once you ping him. If you
I think that's a great idea if the game mechanics will allow us to do that.
so yeah. So if you attack pattern, that's an actual action.
I know.
So if you want to say you're going to do an attack pattern on your next action, that's a different story. So you got to make. Do you want to scan or do an attack pattern?
Next and fine. God, take all the fun out of this.
I'm sorry. I can only fudge the rules so much.
Repairing shield would be an action as well, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So what's the decision?
Well, scan, I guess, right?
Okay.
Makes no sense to have an attack pattern if there's nothing to attack.
Okay.
Yeah, we're scanning.
So here's what you do. Give me. So I guess this is ops that's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So Weps is gone, and ops is going to go now. Okay. So I need you to scan with. Your character is going to do a insight science, and your ship is going to do a sensors and science. And you're going to need, because you prepped it, let's see, 1 less difficulty. So you need 3.
Doc, will you please assist?
I definitely will.
Is Doc on the bridge? I thought she said she was in medical.
I thought she was on the bridge with a team.
With the team.
Okay, that works then. Okay.
And my sensors focus definitely applies to this one.
Yes, sure does.
Hey, there's those 3
There's
successes.
a
you
3.
used.
Oh my god.
How many momentums am I racking up?
All the momentum.
3.
I like that.
All of them.
All of them.
Okay, so here's what happens. Okay, so it's actually at 5. So because Etrigan had 2 from the last game, so
Yeah, how do I
it's
give those to him or can
I can remove them and you can just add 2.
Yeah.
Okay. That.
Okay, that. like that.
Why is this thing not letting me take your... Give me your tokens. Lets me do that to his. Why can't I do that to yours? Okay.
Do I need to drag them out?
Yeah, drag them out and see if I can...
And how do I do
You should
that?
click and drag for you.
Nope. Not.
Okay, we'll clear it later.
Oh,
We'll just
wait.
keep-
Wait. I got it.
Okay.
Ah.
It's a click, and you get a window, and then you drag. I forgot.
Okay,
See,
there
this
we
is
go.
why I didn't want to do the moment thing.
Oh, you did
Okay.
good.
So, here's what you get. You get sensor there. You get sensor there. You get sensor there. You get 3 returns.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. So you get 3 returns. G29, K41, and N36.
Yeah,
I'll
looks
write
like
that.
our Klingon friends are not alone.
G29, K.
Yeah, but we can
Okay.
put out a few additional readings as well, can't we?
Or yeah, they
41,
might also know how to play with sensor ghosts.
and
Or we might be just reading some anomalous gases. Who knows?
36.
Or it could be triangulating it and they're right on top of us.
It gets awfully gassy out there.
All those bloodworms, man.
Can we tell if the ship has reacted to our awesome Grok sensor ghosts at all, or are they just completely ignoring them?
For the most part, they have. So what it does is, if they try to do anything against your ship, the extra sensors and ghosts and stuff like that distract their computers. So anything they would do to
Okay.
do specialized attacks is more difficult for them. That's how that'll work. Okay, so it's their turn, and there, and there, and what's the other one? So basically, the gig's up for them, and you detected all the rest of them. So they said,
Or demo
"Screw
for
it."
us.
They said, "Screw it." So you know they're there now.
Hi, boys.
Okay.
I mean,
Which
we're
one
kind
is
of screwed
Chang?
now, though.
Do we know which one is Chang?
You can see scoring on this one.
But did we know it was Chang to begin with?
Yeah, we talked to him, remember? He threatened to kill us all.
Did he threaten to kill us all here, or was that back?
It was back in there, but I thought he was the ship that was following us.
Well, these ones were also. What I'm saying is the one we fired on may or may not actually have Chang on it. He might be on one of the ships.
We also don't know where these ships came from. They might have already been here. They might have come from somewhere else.
That's also true.
We're all making lots of assumptions about these ships.
Can we just fire at them and stop fighting?
Okay, are you ready for your attack pattern?
CC.
Oh,
If it is my turn, Jim, are you done with the?
Oh yeah, that's their action. I mean, for the most part, they all uncloak, so it's kind of
I mean,
they're done.
you should
Are
probably attack
these-
the one that we damaged because we have a chance of eliminating that one.
That's a good idea. They just need one more hull breach.
I can deliver.
Okay.
Also, are these new ships same Katinga prototypes? Or are they
No, they're
normal
old. They're old
Katingas?
school. They're old D7s.
Okay, good to know.
Ah, so that's how we can tell the difference. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That is how we can tell the difference.
ding ding.
So in that case, I will run an attack pattern on the Katinga and G29.
Okay. So, for attack pattern, that is, I believe that's under the navigational one. No, that's under attack pattern. So the flight controller takes a course that will make it easier to target the enemy. The flight controller attempts a daring and con task with a difficulty of 2, assisted by the weapons and con. So the spear's got to roll a weapons and con.
I can roll for your spear.
If successful until the flight controller's next turn on that ship, all attacks made by the ship reduced in 1 difficulty to a minimum 1. This also has a power requirement of 1, so it's going to cost you a power requirement of 1.
That's okay. I have another ability which I'm gonna do if it succeeds. So
Now, remember the wording here. It says, if successful until the flight controller's next turn, all attacks made by the ship is difficulty plus 1, or reduced difficulty by 1. You're the only person on that ship.
that's okay. I want to keep the momentum when I'm done with this,
Okay.
and I have ability for that. Yay!
I'm
Okay,
so
so-
glad we have our XO back.
Yay!
Murder lust! Yay! Okay, so daring and con
murder
for me, I
lust?
guess.
Daring and con for you, weapons and con for ship, and the success difficulty is 2.
And I have plenty of focuses which go for this. So
Yeah, weapons, yeah. Okay, well, there's your 2. What about the? Let's see if you. Oh, and the spear gets 1, so that's another. That's another momentum. So that's successful.
all right. Now that the attack pattern is done, I would like to use the strafing run, which is a talent of.
Well, hold on. That's not your turn. You
No,
just did
if
your
I
turn.
want to keep the momentum, then I
Oh,
can.
so you want to spend the momentum?
I
Okay.
don't have to. I don't have to. Strafing run allows me to keep the run without paying any momentum.
Oh, cool.
Well
The other
done.
the thing is, okay, that's fine. But you're acting a second time, so anything you're doing is +1 difficulty.
So essentially, the thing I just did is nullified.
Yes.
This is dumb.
Following the book.
Yeah, you mean the many books which I've kind of read ages ago? Okay, that's cool. Well, let's fire on these guys.
Okay, so you are at 3. He's 3 to or he's 4 squares away, so that's a medium. So that's still phasers if you want to shoot your phasers.
Let's do. Well, I can also shoot my microphoton torpedo if I wanted to. It's a high yield.
Correct.
But then that's a long range weapon, really. So no,
Right,
We'll
so
stay with the.
Right, so it'd be 1 less difficulty or 1 more difficulty to shoot at medium. Yeah. So shooting your character is a control and security, and the ship runs on a weapons security, and it's 2 because of your action.
And applicable focus, I assume, since I have
Yes.
combat stuff.
Sure does.
Booyah.
Boo. Yeah.
Okay.
With an emphasis on yeah.
So we have
So
extra momentum, so we should spend that on something.
yeah, you
fun.
have roll
Like-
momentum, so you can actually use it to cause more damage, and you can spend extra damage out of your already existing pool.
Do all the damage.
Oh, the damage.
We
So
gotta do all the damage.
So now roll your d20s. Or I'm sorry, your d6s. D20s. Roll your d6s.
I liked the sound of d20s.
Okay. So what I'm seeing here is 4 damage.
All right, and I can use 1 to.
Now remember, she
So-
soaks 3.
We can also use penetration, which ignores the target's resistance equal to 2 for the momentum spent.
Yep, I like that.
Yes.
Nice.
So okay, so you want to spend extra momentum because it's a push. It's either +2 damage or plus or -2 to armor.
Well, we have momentum to spare.
Yeah, you do.
And isn't there armor 3?
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say -2 to armor would be more effective.
Okay. So that's 1. Okay. So let's see. That's 2 damage right now.
And it
And
was-
add damage.
That's $3 damage.
So, and that's 1 momentum. Is it the existing momentum we had before, or do I need to spend 1 for more?
You have momentum in your roll, so you automatically can say, I want to use the momentum in my roll as extra damage. Okay. Now you can spend momentum out of your pool to get more damage if you want, because it is repeatable. If you look at bonus
we?
damage, 1R is repeatable.
What y'all think? Do we want to do more damage, or are we good?
I like more
More.
damage.
More damage.
More damage.
To do,
That's
Beast
coming
is
from the dog.
wounded.
I mean,
Kill
basically,
him.
to do the damage, to do enough damage to do a breach, you need to do at least 4 damage, or 5 damage.
Let's do it.
So
Wait,
you
do
have,
we want to spend 5 momentum?
well, no, you
Take
hold
out
on.
Chang?
You got
Yes.
2.
We already have 3, right?
Right, you
He
have
tried to kill us.
you have 2 on the table.
Are we
Okay,
about
you
to
negative
create the
2.
Hathaway timeline.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Kirk will
Okay.
thank us one day.
So right now,
3 momentum.
so yeah, okay, so -2 is 1, so you have 1 damage. So you guys spend, then 1, so you guys do 3 out of your pool to get, or 2 out of your pool. There you go, and that's enough to cause a breach.
Boom.
Okay, and this ship goes, boom.
Bye bye, Changy
Nice.
Chang.
I really hope he wasn't that chip.
Okay,
You know he wasn't.
so with that,
Christopher Plummer is too wily for that.
so
Did you
with
feel
that,
Did you feel that?
uh,
That was the time. That was the timeline shifting.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is roll dice. Roll 2d20. Okay, so that, what is there? Weapons. Oh, no, I gotta look at his security. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's 2 successes. Okay. And then rolling up damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll.
Anyone else not liking what he's doing?
Well,
Nope.
and I'm hoping that he like describes it in his story because there's a lot of clicking going on. About how they're all out in
Click,
life
click,
pods right
bloody
now.
click.
Yeah.
Okay, so disruptor cannons is vicious 1. Did I get an effect? Yes, that's an effect. So that means every effect is 1 additional damage, so that's 10 damage right now. And I'm going to kick in. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. So, actually, let's see. You guys have your size 4. So that leaves me 6 damage. So that's enough to cause a breach. Good. Okay. Actually,
Whose
you're
side
taking
are
2
you on?
breaches.
He's on his own side.
That's
Definitely not ours.
2 breaches because you lose a breach for any damage over 5, and you get a second breach because you're about to lose your shields. So your shields are down to 0.
More power to the shields, Captain.
And let's roll up. Let's get my damage chart here. That. Oh, you know what? I have those cards. I'm an idiot. Don't support
still
me on
love
that
you.
thing.
I mean,
As
we
I
don't
say-
disagree with that.
Yeah, as I say,
Oh!
don't
Shots
help
fired.
me with that statement. Okay, so you have on top of the breaches you already have. You have. Well, why didn't I take the shields off? Let's do this. You have a breach on your communications, which isn't anything big at your level, and you have an additional breach on weapons, which you don't. It's still only 1 breach on each. those two are new ones. So it's size 3. You need 2 breaches before it becomes damaged. Okay. So, that's your turn. Or is now it's your turn.
Is it a good time for me to try to work on shields?
I think that's a good idea. We should probably get some of those back.
Okay.
While I have my
Can we
Go ahead.
take a free action to contact Starfleet and see about those reinforcements? Can check on those?
Yeah. To keep it short, you send out a quick message because you're in the middle of combat, and roughly the message that comes back, relayed through New Sydney, is that you would basically not see any reinforcements for at least the next, 45 minutes without,
Okay.
except for Sydney's.
Okay. And have the Sydneys showed up yet?
No. I have a time scale when
Slackers.
they're going to show up.
Okay. Let's work on those shields.
We'll have these Klingons dead by the time the New City people show up.
Okay.
Optimistic. He's been trying to switch out the crew all the time. He wants to do something else on Trek Geeks game night. I know it.
Yep. I mean, while Chang was alive, I could have challenged him to single combat, and that would have gotten rid of me.
No.
Wow.
But we know the Hathaway itself cannot be. Oh no, because we've already created an alternate timeline, so we can be destroyed. Oh well.
Regenerate shields. Okay, so if you do regenerate shields, it says the officer routes power to the shield emitters, trying to replenish them. This has a power requirement of 1. This requires a control engineering task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's structure engineering. It says the difficulty increases +1 if the ship's shields are 0, which they are, so it's going to be a +2. It's going to be 2 successes. If successful, the ship regains 2 points of shields, plus 2 more for each momentum spent. Repeatable.
Okay.
Definitely going to spend some momentum if that's all right.
Well, it's also in your roll, too. So any roll momentum you get also can be applied.
And also, let's have Mr. Tral assist.
I have. Can I apply my determination? I know my ship.
Yes.
value.
So let me mark that down because you are using a determination. So that's a +1 there. It's a +1 there, +1 there, +1 there, +1 there, +1 there. And now Zan Chang's going to use his. Okay. So that's 2 successes. So you got the magical rocks falling out of the ceiling, and you got sparks all around, and you're basically concentrating on your console, ignoring everything around you. You're actually getting pelted with little pieces of debris as you're looking down at the screens, and you're using your determination. So that's 2. That's already an additional 1 on a die, so that means 2 successes, and now you get to roll.
And I'm going to use one more momentum to add another die.
Okay, so you're rolling 3 die, so that's actually technically 4 die.
Wait, it's 4 die? Let me
Well,
start
because
over.
by spending your determination, you already get, it's like setting down a little D20
okay.
on the desk with a 1 on it. So you're rolling 3 additional, so that's a total of 4 die.
Okay. Let's see. Will electroplasma power systems come into play?
Yes, because you're using
All
power
right.
systems to reinforce it.
Excellent. There we go.
Very nice.
Nice.
Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6.
I think you mean 7. Oh, wait, 6. Sorry, I didn't see
2,
Trials until after
3,
you said
4,
that.
5. No, it's 7 because
It is
I'm
7?
gonna because he's got a critical success off the table or on the table on top of his roll.
Oh, that's right. Ah.
So you have 7 points, which you only needed 2 to be successful. Okay, so that's 5. So you have 5 momentum floating right now, and it says you immediately get 2 shields. Okay, and then it says, okay, the ship regains 2 points of shields plus 2 more for each momentum spent. So how much of the 5 do you want to spend on shields? Now remember, your shields only go up to 11. You got 2 right now. Because that's what you get for a success.
I want to bank at least 1 to replenish what I used earlier. I think that's only fair. So we'll start with that.
Okay, so now you're down to 4. So that's
the remaining 4 will give me 8 more shields, which will take us to 10.
yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Captain, do you agree?
That'll do.
Okay, your shields are back to 10. Good.
Yet again, he works his magic.
Grok magic.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
No sweat, Captain.
Noah can count on you on a pinch, Grok.
We have comms. We have weapons. Okay, so that's added to the 2 breaches you had before, which was engines and structure. Okay, so you're at 4 breaches right now, but they're all different systems. So, okay. Now, if I count up this right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've acted 5 times on this? 4, 5. Because the XO went twice, the Chang, Ops, and Weps. Okay. So now that we have new ships introduced... Okay, so now we have new ships introduced, and you guys went through your whole cycle. Okay. And the reason don't forget, the reason you got an extra action is because he's on the spear, and the spear gets an action, gets 2 actions. So that's why you did 5 and you got away with it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you get actions per the size of your ship. So with that, you get a communication, and it's from Chang, Brigadier Chang.
Called it.
He's like, Captain. So, we meet on the field again. Why did you take out my ship like that? That wasn't very Federation of you.
I thought you didn't want to talk, Chang. I thought you just wanted us dead.
Oh,
Why'd you
I
change
still
of heart?
I still do. I just wanted to point out that wasn't very Federation of you. You're more and more like the Klingons every day. And
It's not very Klingon of you to abandon your ship, either.
this ship cloaks. Okay, his action was talking to you. So you have a cloak ship. And you have 1 active ship. And you get the first New Sydney patrol vessel. Okay, so now it's your turn. That's his action. His first action for this round was to talk.
I'm surprised you didn't quote Shakespeare at us.
It would help if
That's next
GM knew
round.
Shakespeare, so...
I'd pay real money to get him to shut up.
There we are. I was waiting who was going to be first to say that.
Okay.
Okay, crew, what do you think? Do we attack the ship we can see, or do we try to find Chang again?
Ramming speed?
Oh, definitely the one we can see. Get more players off the board.
Sounds good.
Yeah, even if it's not the one with Chang on it, disabling another ship will definitely even the odds when we do have to fight Chang.
Destroying.
Okay, who's taking action?
Security. You want to fire the pew-pew again?
Slappy time.
Quick question, GM.
Thought you-
You said that we had 4 breaches.
Yeah, you had 2 from last time.
What are they? I'm
Engines
trying
and
to keep
structure.
track. Engines and structure.
Yep.
Okay.
So you have comms, weapons, engines, and structure. The catch to it is at 1 damage to your size, there's no impact. You have to get 2 on any of those before it starts causing impact to your rolls.
Okay, I just for some reason had sensors, and that was out. That was it. So okay, no problem. Just thank you for the update.
Yep.
It is important for engineering to keep track of these sorts of things. Thank you, Grok.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. Let me roll for the ship and see how she helps.
Suck it, Klingons.
Oh gosh.
Have fun in Stovacore.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
since this
and-
is your first action for this round, it's only 2 successes to complete a phaser action. So that means you have 3. 3 additional points after your success. So, let's roll up some D8 or D6s. Man, I played D&D last night. My brain's all over dice.
Cap, are you rolling again?
No, you do it.
Yeah,
You do the
you're
honors.
you're the primary action, so you should be the one rolling it.
All right. So how many do I roll?
For I'll
It's
bring
eight,
it up.
right?
8.
8. Yeah, 8 D6s. So you have a 5 and effect. So it's either +2 damage or -2 to resistance. And so
What's the resistance on a D7?
it is the same size as a Katinga.
Okay. So 3.
3. Okay. So that's what's carrying over right now. Yeah, it's 3.
And
Sorry.
we just got an additional 3 momentum that is more than we can bank. So we'd better spend it now.
Well, no, we have only 1 extra momentum. I already added 2 to max it out, so we have 1 we definitely need to.
Man, you're so ahead of things.
Didn't you miss me?
Too good.
He's
You're
happy
too
to be
good,
here.
XO.
Welcome back.
So 2, 3, 4. So that's 9. So that's 3. That's 6 damage, you guys. If you just take what's on the table, or not, I'm sorry. Let me look at your 2, 3. Yeah, so that's 3 damage. Yeah, so what's on the table? You're looking at 9 minus 3 for resistance. So you're looking at 5 or 6 damage.
And does that include the momentum we have to spend?
That's what you have on the table, right? Or that's what you have in your roll. So if you want to spend any off the table, you can add to it too.
And a
Okay.
2 causes a breach.
No,
No.
5 causes a breach. The last time it
5,
was
that's
lowered
right,
because their
that's right.
shields were lower.
That's right.
Do the penetration with one of the momentum. That will give us 2.
I thought we used one of the effects to do penetration.
You get a free effect. You get free
Yeah.
-2 just from having the effect, so you don't have to spend momentum to do that.
Yeah, so I think we're spending our rolled momentum on bonus damage.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's, I think, leave everything on the table for now and just use what's in the roll.
Okay, so you're looking at 6 damage. So his shields goes down to pretty low, like really low, because he doesn't have as much shields as the last one did, and he does an effect. So that's a breach. I don't have to roll. That's just a breach on the third one.
Quick question for clarification. So we used up all the 3 momentum we had?
Yes,
No.
in your roll. No.
Okay.
Nothing on the table.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing out of the
Yeah.
deck.
We go
Okay.
back to 6.
No,
Can
it
we-
was I added 2 and then we had 1 on the table, so we actually have 4.
Oh, okay.
Since we have copious amounts of knowledge about the D7, can we please see his stats?
I'll give you what's on his shields.
Okay.
And since we don't really keep track of energy on this ship, because he doesn't really burn through all of his energy, we'll use his red square, or his red circle as his breaches. So he has this many left, and he has this many breaches.
Not seeing it.
Me neither.
Nope, not at all.
You have to make it
Oh,
visible.
okay, I have to make it
player.
visible. I didn't
Yeah.
do visible. Why is it okay? I know I've done this before. Why am I having a hard time?
If you go into the token,
Oh, that's because I didn't put the total amount on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta, and then that's one of 3. There we go. Now
Nope.
can you
And
see it?
just to be honest, shouldn't our power level decrease
Go down,
by
yes,
1
because you just
for-
shot. You just shot.
Just keep it honest.
No, I'm just trying to keep track of tokens here.
Yep.
Tokens. Yep. There we go.
Still invisible.
Is it? Don't you guys see it? I see it on my player
No.
screen.
Nope.
nope.
Still don't see his stats.
Oh, what the poop. No, that's not what I want. Let me look at your stats and see if I have a checkbox checked that I don't have on the other ones. Oh, probably because you guys can't control. Hold on, let me see. I might have to open up his stats to everybody. Okay, let me get that worked. Okay, so now it's his turn. I'm changing this right now.
Can you just blow up?
No,
Yeah,
great
we're cool with
action.
that. Saves you a lot
That
of
is
stuff
great
having
action.
no,
then you don't have to
no,
work on it.
No,
We don't mind.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
what you're saying, and I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Sounds
Come
a
on.
lot like wah wah wah.
Voluntary matter.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah,
Russian
wah,
perfect.
wah.
Wah, wah.
Oh my god, you guys are in a mood.
We're being shot at,
Yeah.
A lot.
and my beer is empty.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
They
ram that
start-
ship next.
Yeah, just ramming speed.
Ramming speed.
Everybody on the ship's fine. The ship itself is fine, but let's go ram it.
Okay, save changes. Okay, now can you see its stats?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay, it has two. It has 2 shields left, and it's got 1 of 3 breaches. That's what its current.
Oh, there it is. Click on the ship.
Oh, I see it if I click on the ship.
Yay.
Now it's there.
Okay,
Thank-
so now it is. You know what? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man.
Now, didn't you mention that another ship had arrived? One of our guys?
Yeah, but
he's
it's
down there.
Oh, I must be zoomed in too far. Let me get out a little.
okay. So, excuse me.
There he is.
The Hathaway went. Now, man, we definitely need to play more often because I'm losing track of what order I'm supposed to be doing this stuff in. Okay, so the next one is the shuttle. So Hathaway went once. Now the shuttle goes. What's the spear want to do?
The shuttle?
I'm-
Don't you
I'm
mean
a-
our mighty battleship?
Yeah.
Your battle mosquito.
The USS kick butt.
What would the battle mosquito like to do?
The battle mosquito is gonna go and bite that pitaka over there.
Well, you're gonna have to either use torpedoes or move because you're too far to use phasers.
You know what? I want to try the torpedo.
You want to use your micro torpedo? Remember, you only get 1 shot with this bad boy.
I know, but hey,
Do it! Do it!
Let's do it.
I'll take micro torpedo for 500, please. Thank you.
Yes! And the question is, what does it take to destroy a Klingon ship?
Okay, so let's use your micro torpedoes. And your torpedo shot, I'm pretty sure, is 3 successes. Because it's a harder shot at that distance. But I believe your
Well, it's just
micro
have to ask
torpedo is
them
more
in.
damaging, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
the torpedo. It's a high
That's
yield.
still-
Yep.
Yep.
So go ahead and take your shot. It is the same. It's for its control and security for you, and its weapons security for the ship. You need 3 successes.
I'll just go ahead and spend a momentum on that one.
Okay, so that's 3 dice.
Yes.
Boom
It is
shakalaka.
not the Klingons' day.
Come at me, bro.
Okay. My goodness. Okay.
When the
So
GM
go
when the GM
ahead.
sounds disappointed, you know you're doing good.
So you actually gain a momentum that you can use or retain. Go ahead and roll your damage dice and make a decision with your momentum. And yes, a high yield creates another breach if you get enough damage.
How about them?
Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 damage plus an effect. The effect gives you activates the high yield, if I'm right. Okay. You have not done enough damage yet to actually cause a breach.
Well, we have that 1 momentum, so
You do that, so that's 6 total. Okay. Which you negate 3 right off the bat because of its size. So right now you have 3 damage with the momentum that's in there.
so I need 5, huh?
Yes, you need 2 more.
What do you think, guys? Spend
Do
2
it.
more?
Do it. Do it.
The mighty mosquito. Woo!
Light him up.
I'll call.
You pulled 3. You only need to do 2.
We want to make sure he's
I
There we
got
go.
excited.
Got really excited. I just kept pushing a lot of buttons.
Okay, so that's a double breach.
Also, Koloth just ran onto the bridge, aka there's now a cat in my lap.
And mine too.
There's one right next to my chair.
Oh, is the Chancellor upset that we're killing her people?
He's not happy about it.
So we have so we basically have we have 2 down ships and we have 1 that's in cloak. Okay. The patrol craft's turn. He doesn't have a whole bunch of power, so he gets to move to close for free. There we go. And he moved close. That's his turn. Okay, so it's the Klingon's turn. The Klingon, as far as you can see, doesn't do anything.
I think it's time to scan for Klingons again.
Okay. And it is your turn. So this is a second round, or a second action for this round for you guys. Okay. Which one do you want to go first? The Spear, the Hathaway, or do you want the New Sydney Patrol Craft to move?
I think it makes sense that the Hathaway goes first and we use our super scanner to scan for Klingons.
Okay.
Yep.
So that means Weps did his for this round. Okay, Ops, go ahead and do your roll.
With an assist from engineering, please.
All right, what role for engineering?
You are, if we're doing a if we're doing a scan, it's going to be sensors, science from the ship, and it's going to be insight science from the characters. And it's going to be 3 successes. To try to determine where, and of course the Hathaway, because it's sensors. Even though, oh man, put a momentum back in.
Yay!
We're just that good.
We're just that overly excited.
Okay, so you get an idea that the ship has moved up there, right around F-44. Okay, so That's Ops took a shot. XO, this is your second and last action for this round because you're class 2.
All right, what did I miss?
Can I spend my turn trying to repair one of our systems, trying to get rid of one of its breaches?
You have to wait till it comes around to the second round for this, or the second go around, because it goes. Every ship on the Federation side does one action. Every ship on the Klingon side does one action, and then it resets and flips back and forth.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we haven't scanned yet, have we?
Yes, they have, and they detected somewhere near F-44. So this is your second and last action for this round, because you're a class 2. Yeah, up there. Now,
if I move closer, can I see him perhaps, or are they just gonna be now?
Right now, you could move, and then you can try to scan on. Well, you're done for this action, for this round. You only a class 2, so you can move yourself into position in preparation for a possible shot next round. Close is no energy spending. Medium distance is 1 energy, and long distance is 2 energy.
Go closer.
Okay, I'll move closer.
Okay, how far do you want to move?
Let's spend 2 energy and get close.
So that's up to 12 squares. I said is long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So basically, you could go at 7 hexes. Keep going. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So up to 12 hexes you can go.
Mighty mosquito.
Battle mosquito.
That's right. Death mosquito.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull the 2 energy out of that. And
Yeah, I
reduce
think
you down to 2. Or, I'm
After
sorry,
this
3.
counter, I'm going to authorize you to paint battle mosquito on the side of the spear.
What?
I'm going to revise my notebook of stickers policy.
Go.
Well, you'll be
Hell
pissed
yeah.
off when you find out about my bumper sticker. What?
Okay, so you're down to 3 energy. Okay, so the Hathaway's gone. The Spear's gone. The Sydney gets one more. New Sydney ship gets one more attempt at or one more action because he's a class 2. No, he gets to. Oop, wrong screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he moves up there. Actually, he can move up to 12, so he actually goes like right there. Okay, Klingon's turn. Well, what you get from a communication down in New Sydney, the communication comes up from New Sydney and it goes to the Hathaway. And you get a little beacon saying communication coming in.
Okay. Hailing frequencies open. What do they got to say?
Hathaway, this is New Sydney Control. We have a message coming in from the Klingon homeworld. And
Yes.
they are talking to your ambassador, and what we're getting from the decrypted message is to hold fire. They're recalling the Klingon ship. Stand by for update.
Thank you, New Sydney.
And the comment closes.
It's fake.
So with that information, it's back to you. Or well, actually, the Klingons closed his. Okay, so it's your turn. The Klingon did his final action and then started there. And wait, he did one action, and now you guys are priority, so you guys get to go first. So what do you want to do now that you got that message?
Let's fix something.
Okay, what would you like to fix, Chief Engineer? Or what is determined by the crew that needs to be fixed?
structure, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to do a repair action, and if we go to go to Chief Engineer, Commanding Officer, Chief Main Engineering, Damage Control. Okay, Damage Control. The officer sends a damage control team which attempts to repair a single breach. The officer chooses a single damaged or disabled system and attempts a presence engineering task, with a difficulty determined by the system chosen. If successful, the system is restored to function and can be used again normally. This does not remove any breaches the ship has suffered, only the penalties. So, with that information, what they're saying is, if you have a system that's degraded, you can repair it so it has no degradation effect, but it's still broken. So since you have no degraded effect right now, doing this isn't going to fix anything. The breach doesn't actually clear.
Okay, then. I guess we're not going to fix something.
Yeah.
Because that seems silly now. Can we hail Chang?
You can attempt to hail Chang,
I'm going to attempt to hail Chang.
and you get no response.
That's not surprising at all.
Let them eat static.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Spear, it's your action. Your actions are reset because this is a new round of actions.
If I shoot him, the ambassador is going to be pissed.
It is better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
And I mean, New Sydney transmitted that message to the Hathaway, not the Spear. So unless we've actively shared it with you, you don't know.
Yeah. I don't think we did. 'Cause we're kind of busy figuring out our, structure and
Yeah, gee,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that bombs between the Hathaway and the Spear are out right now.
Yeah, I think we
Had
forgot
noth-
to tell you.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with me kicking that console. I swear.
So Spear,
I'm trying to see if I
you
guess
are captain of that vessel. What is your decision, sir?
I'm going to take a shot of Tarkalian tea with some spike stuff in it. I don't know. I guess candy. So my options here are I can take a shot in the dark, scan, or I can do some proactive sensor jamming, assuming that the ship is still there and close.
Jamming, sensor operator, sensor sweep. Let's see. Scan for weakness, launch probe, security, internal sensors, tractor beam, modulate shields, fire weapons, internal containment fields. I don't really see. Well, I think I gave your ship ability, right, to do something like that.
Precisely.
Yeah, you can. If you want to run your ship's special ability, you sure can.
But that's just going to make him stay cloaked and not come out. They cannot fire their phasers. The next action. But I guess it wouldn't hurt.
How can we knock him out of cloak?
Are my sensors good enough to run the thing which Tral came up with?
Yeah, you have that. You have the ability to do that. Yes, you can do the same
Remember,
thing.
It
The
might break
shit.
your sensors if it fails.
That's right. Well, he doesn't. He can do the same sensor. His ship isn't affected by your alteration, so he would have to have higher success. But he can use the same technique. It's just a little bit more difficult for that ship because it wasn't prepped like yours was.
Because he's the mighty mosquito.
Well, this is no fun. Hard decisions. But anyhow,
Shooting
Maybe
on the Klingons
maybe
isn't
he
that hard.
doesn't want the big seat.
Oh,
No. well,
he does good on
let
the
me ask-
mosquito.
Yeah. Let's ask this way. If I scan and we find a ship, are you guys going to shoot on it?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking.
Why is the
We-
doctor
I'm-
bloodthirsty?
Hey,
Klingons.
Oh, yeah, her
Don't like-
backstory is she hates Klingons.
Oh,
We've
Yeah,
got a
Etrigan's
direct
not
order
fond
not.
of him either.
We've got a direct order not to. So unless they engage us again, no, we're not going to fire on them.
I'm sorry, is New Sydney in our chain of command now?
Aw, you're no fun, Captain.
We destroyed 2 Klingon ships.
Yeah.
How is
there's a
that not
third one.
fun?
Hat trick.
Third time's the charm, as I hear. Just
Well, I'm gonna just scan for it. It's better to know where it is.
Okay.
Let's-
So, for the ship, we're going to do sensors, science, and for the character, you will roll a insight science. And the catch to this is, because your ship wasn't prepped, it's 4. 4 successes.
This is no fun. You know what? I'm gonna spend 1 momentum. Everybody okay with that? Just 1, not 2.
What is the spear rolling?
It's sensors science.
Okay.
Which, if I'm right, the spear's sensor science is something just unbelievably low. Because it's a shuttle. With modifications.
Actually, it has good sensors.
Well, good.
You know why? Because it's supposed to be an electronic warfare ship. You designed it.
Yes, I know. It's been a while. It's been almost a year since I built it.
he's hating himself a little right now.
No, I love myself always. Sometimes I get disgruntled with the rolling mechanics they allow in this game, but we're following the rules.
Yeah, none of my focuses really apply here unless I'm inspirational or strategy and tactics. Yeah, no.
I find you inspirational.
Thank you. Well, the sensors? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Ooh, the ship's gonna have to crit.
No, we failed.
Isn't this the first roll you guys actually have failed?
Yes, we were on
Yes.
fire.
Actually, before this roll, we only had 2 failed rolls. So this is the 3rd failed roll.
But it's not a red, so this is good. There's still an
Yeah,
upside.
it's fine.
Yeah.
So
No
there
problem.
is no response from the sensors. You're not sure if it worked or if it's gone. It's just you get nothing back. Okay.
Do you need to just hit the side of the console? Will that help?
I already took a shot
It
of
hurt.
something.
So since New Sydney ship doesn't have any guidance because it is just a low end ship, it's just gonna have to sit there. But
Stop being so mean to those people. God, they're doing their best.
they're working
They're
hard.
doing the best with what they have.
But they do produce another ship. Another one gets out. Okay.
And it's unfortunate they don't have a Grok.
Now, good news,
Those are
bad
amazing
news.
rocks.
Yes. Yes?
Good news is, you didn't die.
Woo!
Usually.
Yay!
The bad news is, he's not coming back. You guys are out of combat. So, we will take a break, and you can find out why he's gone.
Oh.
We'd like
Did-
to loot the bodies.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, if you guys want to go and try to pick up pieces and do some material
Some
stuff,
salvage?
salvage, I'll let you do it because there's actually something I've been on my table game, and we can incorporate it here a little bit if you want. There's
and we
actually
might get intel that,
well, that maybe too, but there's actually materials that you guys can use to spend to reduce upgrades on your ship.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
I want
instead
to
of-
get my Grok wants his hands on that prototype ship. So
At
Yeah.
the very least, salvage that one.
Salvage.
Okay,
They might have candy.
Salvage.
All right.
so with that, I'm going to put the break placard up. My clock says basically 3 o'clock my time, so it's top of the hour. So we'll be back at 10 minutes. So 10 after the top.
Sounds good.
Okay.
AFK.
Okay, we are back. So before we went on break, the Hathaway got a transmission from New Sydney to go ahead and stop firing, stand down. The Klingons did not reappear out of their cloak. I went as a GM and told them that they're not going to come back, so we're going to come out of combat, and we are going to now try to figure out what happened. Because as expressed by the players at the end of the last session, they weren't quite sure what was going on, so maybe I can help them finish the mystery. But the first thing I want to see is to see if we can get the spear back into Hathaway without breaking anything, because I do distinctly remember the last time we tried to put that spear inside the Hathaway, you put some dents in it, right?
Little love rubs.
How dare you bring that up? My flight record is immaculate.
Senator, I have no recollection.
So,
Just eyes.
so with
I'm
that,
the one that has to repaint the deck.
so
Grok,
let's
get ready. I'm drifting her in.
Yeah, coming in, Grok.
Oh, wait. What is it? Is this like we said before? Is this the Plan B for barricade?
As in barricade.
Okay, so to successfully land this thing, we're gonna go ahead and do a roll. The Hathaway is a little damaged. There's a couple things leaking out. There's little chunks of things, make it a little bit more difficult.
Did you
And that's
lose some
before the
nacelles?
spear. That's before the spear gets in.
So we're going to go ahead and make it a. You know what? The spear didn't take a breach. Okay, we're going to make it 2. 2 successes to land aboard without causing any major damage, and slash making sure that you don't get any complications. So we're looking for 2 successes, and your roll for the character or for the XO is going to be control con. Control con. Sorry, I'm a little trying to pull that out the top of my head.
God!
Yeah, control con. Oh my god. And the ship's going to be engines con. You know what? Where's my mute button? I swear to God.
Can
Roll
the
me up
ship-
some dice.
Can the ship use
Yeah.
sector beam?
Nice.
There you go. Never mind.
Yeah.
Grok looks a little disappointed holding his bucket of paint.
He's just sitting there going, "Oh."
Ah, he did it perfectly. What the hell?
And with no, hold on, yeah, no.
I'll
So
just have to save it for the mosquito.
paint the mosquito on the side. So you fly in with some surprisingly some awesome control. I mean, again, your track record hasn't been the best when it's come to docking.
Bite me.
So you touch down gingerly, but what you do notice on your approach is that the exterior of the Hathaway is not in good shape. It is pretty roughed up. Your one of your nacelles is just, I mean, it's attached, but it's got a big chunk out of the pylon. Your structure, or the structure where the saucer meets the backside of the ship, there's a lot of scoring and a couple breaches in there. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Your weapons, one of your phaser banks, one of your whole phaser banks on the side is completely burnt out. And several of your, which you know, being the XO, being very familiar with the ship's design, your transmitter antennas, they're flush along the ship, but they're actually like special places where the ship uses as transmission in comms, they're completely scored out to the point that it looks like they're gone. So I mean, the ship is intact internally, but the exterior is pretty roughed up.
Well, time to send the mooks out there. Where are red shirts at?
Send in the red shirts.
Well, this is not going to be one of those let's sit around and plug and plaster over. This is going to take a little bit of time.
This is a space dock visit, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like space dock to me.
Yeah, and there's already New Sydney has a space dock that can support this. So if you want to, you can talk to New Sydney about doing it. You can go talk to someplace. You can go to a space station. You can go any place you want. But you're pretty much not going to be able. You're going to have to give a report saying that you are not able to fulfill your duties without some time in a dock.
All right.
Okay.
So Captain heard this, or do I need to tell this all her? Because
Oh no, I want you to totally narrate this. In fact, I'm going to give you a place where you can narrate this. Hold on.
where's the airlock? I'm just going to space myself now.
Captain, what GM said?
What's a GM?
The voice in my head.
Watch out, guys. We don't want to go too far into John Scalzi territory of red shirts.
Oh,
The narrator.
wait.
That is
Sorry.
such a good book, though.
Red shirts was hilarious.
Just to let you know, just take a look at your screen. Who's in the captain's seat?
Oh, he does not belong in that chair.
Get him, Captain. Get him.
So, let's go ahead and. Oh, actually, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, we'll have the chief engineer in there with you guys because this is something that you guys need to talk about amongst yourselves. So, here's your scenario, or here's your situation. Let's go ahead and talk about this. And
I brought popcorn.
wait.
Did you not bring candy? Is there candy mixed in with
Oh yeah.
the popcorn?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ooh, popcorn and
caramel.
M&Ms are amazing, or Reese's.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, we're not supporting any type of candy consumption at all. Go ahead.
Captain.
Yes,
Um,
Grok.
Looks like we got hit pretty hard out there. Our hull is looking a little Swiss cheesy, if you know what I mean.
Oh. Well, I assume that does that mean that it has a lot of holes in it?
What's Swiss cheese like on your planet?
Less
Well, we
Swiss.
don't have there's not a Switzerland on my planet, so
Considering I'm the only human around here, let's forgo the cheese references.
Yeah.
But yes, Captain.
Go
Well,
ahead.
sorry, Grok. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say we took some damage. We need some time.
Yeah, Cap,
Okay.
it's pretty bad out there. I saw it firsthand when I flew in. I'm surprised if we can't make any transmissions because that antenna looks hideous out.
yikes. You know what? Maybe we can make this work for us. Can we see if Starfleet will let us space dock somewhere where we can take some nice shore leave?
Ooh, and salvaging. Maybe there's
Right.
extra parts out there.
I could use a vacay.
Yeah, can we? Is there a space dock near Ryza?
Oh.
Oh, you're asking me? Sure,
Yeah.
we'll say, well, sure, why not?
But Rice's not in the Federation, correct?
I
Well,
don't
they
believe so.
are.
I believe they're neutral. I think at this time they're neutral.
They're friendly.
Well, they're friendly. I'm not
Ryza's
saying.
like the Federation. Let's look
Yeah.
They're
that up.
certainly in the Federation by the time of DS9, but I don't know about now.
There's one nearby. You guys can take a shuttle to Rice, even if it's not in orbit.
Their fruity drinks are still good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Captain.
2249 is when
Interesting.
Ryza was admitted to the United Federation of
Okay.
Planets.
So there you go.
All right, Cap. Yeah, we can go to Risa, but there is also something when I flew and I saw a lot of wreckage out there, and some of it is surprisingly well intact.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Grok, how you feel about all that wreckage out?
I can't. I want to get my hands on some of it. I mean, especially that prototype Klingon ship. who knows what we can learn from it.
I agree. We should salvage as much as we possibly can before we make our way to the Starbase space dock.
All right, so Cap, how you want to handle this? Should we just leave the ship here and then we could jump with the command staff onto the Spear or the Mighty Mosquito and fly out to Risa?
No, we're not leaving the ship here. We got to take the ship to with us.
Yeah, we can say there's a space dock not far from Risa.
Risa is in fact near Starbase 12. So
there you go. Let me put Starbase 12. There we go.
So I think we should use the spear now to help us collect wreckage and see if we can beam some of the wreckage directly into our cargo bays and use the spear to assist with anything that we can't beam. And then we will head to Starbase 12. We'll leave the ship there with the mechanics, and let's all get suntans.
Game plan. Let's do it.
That's good.
Captain, there's one other item I would like to discuss with you. I've been working on a design project that I would like to bring to your attention. During the battle with the Klingons, I had suggested creating those sensor ghosts to help fool their sensors. Well, I would like to start drawing up plans for something a little more upscale. I would like to try to use our deflector to be able to project a hologram, a virtual ship, if you will, during times of need. But it's something I want to work on. I need to design first, but with your permission, I would like to get started.
Grok, I think that's a fantastic and very ingenious idea. You have my permission to get to work. Feel free to use any of the materials we salvage here to help.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay, so I take it the meeting starts breaking up. Is there anybody that wants to, wait behind, say anything personal, one-on-one, or are we good?
I'm ready to salvage.
Okay.
Yeah, let's salvage.
Okay. So
Work
with
first,
that,
play later.
let me go. Okay. So we'll put you back out there. Take the stats off. Okay. So with that, how would you like to work this salvage? So there's two ships that were left behind, or not left behind, but two ships that were basically debris floating around. And there's surprisingly a lot of metal. You're not able to determine how much of the systems are intact or how much things all you can tell without getting on there or getting inside the ship. It's several million metric tons of starship metals.
I think we prioritize the prototype Katinga.
Okay. So I really don't have a broken up ship, so I'll just put it back up there where it was. It's been floating, so it's like up here as it's been floating away, and it's jacked up
zero
state.
hit points. It's all jacked up.
Well, on Grok's short list would be their cloaking device, their computer core, maybe take a look at their engine schematics, things of that nature.
Well, I mean,
probably should look at their shield emitters too, because they have stronger shields. 7.
That is also true. Yes.
Well, so it exploded. I mean, it didn't just turn its lights off and float away. So I mean, it came in pieces. I mean, you're talking the interior. Well, you can go and try to investigate the interior, depending on your roles and what you're looking for. The interiors could be pretty much wrecked out. The exterior equipment, whatever was still attached to the hull after the explosion, whole pieces, because it's in like 4 or 5 pieces. I mean, it's not like the TV shows where they explode into little particles. I mean, we're trying to be more realistic than that, but ultimately the equipment that's going to come off here is going to be something that may have survived basically an explosion from the inside, then implosion as everything crunched on itself.
So what we salvage will be exterior stuff.
Some of the exterior equipment might be still attached. The interior is pretty wrecked out.
Okay.
I mean, if you ever dealt with like think about it this way, it's like a submarine. When a submarine implodes, most of the stuff inside squashed down. And this here basically exploded and then ran to itself and crunched into little pieces. So we'll see what you get out of it. It's going to be pretty high to find things intact.
Okay.
So I know you're going to get lots and lots of metal out of this, but working equipment or salvageable equipment is...
Well, it doesn't have to be working, but if we can get an idea of how...
Right. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Grok's list is, those items if you can find anything related to it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just, I mean, I don't want you to think that you're going to be like, hey, we got a cloaking device. You can register it as how it might work, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do this? Because the pieces themselves, even though your ship is a pretty good size, the pieces themselves, you're talking about a ship that's a class 3 trying to fit in pieces that are size class 3 into a class 4 ship. So, I mean, we're talking your cargo bays ain't going to fit a whole wing. But we can get some of the stuff onto the ship. It's usable. So how do you want to go about it?
Grok is in a worker bee.
Okay. We will... Yeah, that works. Okay, so you got a couple worker bees on there, no problem. Who's assisting? Do you want to see if you can transport some of the stuff? I mean, do we want to pull a discovery match speed? Don't get me started.
And whoever needs help with anything that I might have some decent points with, I'm happy to assist right now.
Well, I would imagine from the worker bee, Grok is going to try to rip, trying to peel off the outer layers to get at that juicy meat inside.
Okay.
If there's any left, but that's what he's trying to do with the worker bee.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a chart. Okay, I'm gonna write a chart out of a D20, and I'll give you 4 rolls. Well, I'll give you a roll for every time you salvage, but you only get like up to 4. And depending on what you roll is what you're going to get out of it. So let me get the chart here going real quick. It'll only take me a second. 9 to 12. 9 to 12. 13 to 16. 16. 20. Okay. 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 So, here's what I'm going to do. Okay. So, narrate what you're doing and then give me a roll.
Okay. So, Grok from inside the worker bee is going to grab onto a chunk of hull and just try to peel it back to see what's underneath, and if there's anything that he can grab onto to keep ripping away, he's just going to keep peeling back layers if possible.
Okay.
And what roll do you need me to do?
Just roll me 1 D20. This is your first roll. Okay, 14. So, when you peel it back, let's say you're probably peeling back like it's starboard wing, it's lower wing, and you're peeling it back, and you discover a couple of shield capacitors and a shield emitter. And to pull that equipment, well, let's say it's, equivalent of like 30 tons of equipment. So if you were looking at size-wise, you're talking about like a good size bedroom size of components. Just a sloppy rectangle of components that equates to shield capacitor and a shield emitter that you pulled out.
Okay.
So
I'm going
okay.
tag it
Mhm.
for transport and just like push it so it starts drifting away from the rest of the debris.
Love it. Who's running the transport?
I can do
Sabin?
that.
Okay.
Who is? I'm sorry, I didn't see.
I am.
Okay. Okay, ops. Let's get a transport roll. Now, this is a cargo transport. Okay, so it's bulky transport. It's going to be put into a nice big bulky room. The problem is because it's bulk, it's not quite as sensitive on the sensors, just because of safety purposes and computer usage and other stuff. So you're going to have to give me a success for this size of equipment. Let's say you can either have a success of 3 with with support, or 2 successes with no support.
Okay, and what's the roll?
It's going to be sensors and engineering for the ship, and for the character, it's going to be control engineering.
Okay. And I have a focus on transporters.
Sweet. So are you doing assisted or not? Supported or unsupported? You can do supported with 3 successes or unsupported for 2 successes.
I feel confident that I don't need support.
Okay, so unsupported 2 successes.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
You got this.
There you go. That's good. Okay,
Very good.
so there you go. Write down on your little notes, wherever you want to write down, so we all have it down. You have 30 tons of shield capacitor and shield emitter. And you can mark 30 tons. I'm writing it down myself, and it's /Klingon. It's a little bit different than yours, but some of the base materials are still going to be the same, so it'll save you some time and effort. Okay.
All right. I've noted it in the ship notes.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to try to dig deeper.
Okay.
Same thing, just trying to peel back different.
Yep.
Maybe I'll move to a different section.
Okay.
Maybe try to find something a little more towards the engineering area. Where I assume the engineering area would be,
Okay.
and try to start ripping off outer layers, just peeling back the onion.
Okay. Go ahead. 3. So you actually, good call. You went to the engineering area and you started peeling stuff back, and you literally detach an engine. Like you pull out their. Wow, why is my brain going stupid? Their.
No comment.
Oh my God.
Impulse.
Hey, yes, your impulse engines. You know what? You're gonna have to kill me a character.
love
Keep going. Yeah, I know. I see.
Love you.
So you pull out the impulse engine manifold. You pull. I mean, it's basically almost surprisingly intact.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, again, it's
Nice.
it's Klingon designed, and this is 50 tons because it is almost completely intact. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a choice. You can take 2 more standard rolls, or you can take 1 roll and pick high or low. So what I'm saying is you can target a high or low. So 1 through 4 is the engines, 5 through 8 is weapons, 9 through 12 is tractors, tractor beams, and tractor equipment. 13 through 16 is shields, and 16 through 20 is cloaking equipment.
Ooh.
So you can take two more standard rolls, or you can take one more roll and do targeted. So you can either go high or low. They increase your chance. And if you roll and it comes up low, you get to roll again till you get a high.
I can either take 2 rolls, or
Two
get
standard
one-
rolls, and whatever comes out. Or you take out one, and you can say, I want my roll to be a high, 1 through 10. Or, I'm sorry, a low, 1 through 10, or a high, 11 through 16, and you roll until you get the high or low, whichever you choose.
And how many rolls do I get there?
Just one.
Just one.
Well, what I'm saying is, let's say you go targeted, and you roll a 4, I let you re-roll it until you get something between 11 and 20.
That way we get
So you
a
can...
random target within the higher range.
Right.
I see. You know what?
Target.
I'm going to go target, and I'm
Yeah.
going to go high.
Okay.
Cloaking, baby.
So-
yeah.
What? So, I need the roll for the transport.
But yes.
So ops,
So,
I need to roll
again,
on transport.
Tag it, push it out into space.
So do you want to do assisted or non-assisted? Lieutenant Tral.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, you're
Sorry. Wait, what am I rolling?
transporting.
Am I transporting again? I'm sorry.
Yep. Do you want assisted or unassisted?
Same restrictions.
Same things. Yep.
Yeah, then better to do unassisted, I think.
Okay. Give me control engineering and sensor engineering for the ship.
Oh.
Okay.
There goes the nearly
I-
intact part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still get most of the ion engine, but you lost 20 tons of equipment or of the weight. So it's not completely intact. It's missing part
Some
of
wires.
the tank. It's moving. It's probably leaking. You cut down how much it weighs, so that reduces how much material you get to
30.
get out of it.
So
So it's
30
mostly
tons.
intact. It's mostly intact. Okay.
I'm mostly dead.
Noted.
So high or low?
High.
'Kay.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, that's fine. You get to re-roll till you get a high.
Yep. Until we get over. Oh
Oh,
Yes!
Nice.
Okay, so you're pulling around. You're in there. You're digging away. The captain's like calling over to you and saying, "Listen, we got to get this done. We got to get the ship taken in. You're getting good stuff out of there. We just need to start looking at getting out of here." And you're like, "Well, come on, man. Let me give it one more shot." And you're in there
One more
digging,
shot.
and you're in there digging, and you pull out. You pull
Say
out the cloaking.
Say it.
You take
Yes!
out most of the cloaking components off the actual reactor.
Wow.
How operational it is, or how
Well,
good it works, is questionable. But you got most of the chamber, and while you're pulling it out, the Federation has some idea what a cloaking technology looks like from the days of TOS. Okay, so you've been through the system enough to know and recognize roughly what one would look like. This one doesn't look like anything you've seen before.
Oh.
All the more reason to get it into Starfleet's hands. I'm gonna put 2 transporter tags on this bitch.
Well,
Oops.
well. So the catch to this, it's fine. So the advantage is you don't have to have this transported. It is not a big device. It's not like you're pulling out a whole engine or anything else. This is something that's just about 2 or 3 times the size of a human. So you don't have to have it transported. You can take it back in the worker bee's grasp.
Yes.
Sweet.
Delicate. Wrap
Okay.
it in a blanket.
But otherwise, this thing here, when you pulled that out, surprisingly, you've seen a little red light go off in the somehow it got like a power. There's a red light right by where it was mounted, and the red light is blinking. And as you're backing out, you see the red light blinking a little faster.
Go, Grok!
So I need you to roll me a piloting check with your worker bee. Okay?
Okay, what do I do? How do I do this?
Okay. So it's not going to be super difficult. I mean, it's space, but it's not going to be like just pushing a ship around. You need to operate in the engines. And so for you, you are going to do. Sorry, I'm going to do this. There we go. That's the Hathaway. That's not a character. Come on, character. Sorry, I'm pulling up a character sheet so I get the right stats.
Not a
There
problem.
it is.
You take your time, GM. Take your time.
So you are going to do a daring con because you're not really a pilot. I mean, you got basic training, but you don't have like kind of emergency operation, and you're in something that isn't really designed to do this. So you are trying to operate that worker bee beyond its capabilities, daring and con, and you are going to basically have to roll. You're on your own, so you're going to do 3 successes.
I'm
Okay.
going to buy some momentum.
I was
Good
just going
call.
to say,
Good
yeah.
call.
I'll buy a die.
Yep. Well, you have
And-
2 die. You have 2 momentum, so you could actually. Oh no, you only buy 1 die with 2 momentum. Okay.
Yeah.
And the
I don't
go
think
ahead.
I have any. I don't think I have any focuses that work.
3 successes? I thought you said it wasn't too awfully hard.
It's not 5 is impossible, and you
I
guys
tried.
hit 5 all the time. I hear it.
I tried.
Okay.
Taxi driving.
I do have my cautious talent that I'm going to keep in reserve because I'm buying an extra die.
hmm
If I can re-roll one later if I need to.
That's
So
fine. That's
I'm gonna
that's
keep
what that
in
mechanic's for.
reserve.
Oh! Once again, Grok's the man.
I do want to re-roll one more that 0. I'm gonna re-roll it to see if I can get
Just-
any.
Just remember, the 0 has no complication.
Oh, that is true. Oh,
If
Yeah,
you
you're
re-roll it
doing
and it comes
pretty
up
right now.
complication,
yeah,
you're gonna.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
Okay. So you see this happening. You basically get on at the last second. You're on the comms because somebody's talking to you regularly, and the captain hears over the comms that she's monitoring the bridge. Oh no! I think something's about to go boom. Captain, what do you do with your ship?
Get out of range.
Okay.
Can we extend shields maybe around him or something?
Actually, can we? Yeah.
Okay. We can do it. Roll to extend shields.
Um.
So the extend shields. This is not in the book, so I'm gonna give it to you. So who you gonna have do it first off, and it's gonna be based on a engineering, and your engineer's off the ship.
I'm gonna give it to Tral, I think.
Okay. It's going to
Okay.
be insight engineering because this is happening so fast. You have to be ahead of the captain's thoughts to get this work. So it's going to be insight. Did I say insight or daring?
Yes.
I said insight.
You said
Okay.
inside.
Insight.
Insight engineering.
And what's the ship rolling?
The ship's going to roll. Basically, the ship's going to roll sensors engineering because the ship's going to have to be able to get an idea where to put it out to, and you're looking
Okay.
at 3 successes.
Can I offer assist?
Yeah, you're on the bridge. Sure.
Okay.
Insight engineering. Ship's doing sensors engineering.
Woo! There we go.
There you go. So,
Grok lives to tell another tale.
so Grok flips the bee over and full throttles it while basically this wired conduit mess is on the front of the ship. And yeah, there's no friction in space, but his sudden thrust caused all the loose stuff to fly backwards and start slapping his screen as he's flying away from this prototype, and at the same time, he's going, "Oh, I think something's about to go boom," and
I like the voice. That was good.
and then the ops reaches over and like definitely just with smoothness hits a couple of buttons before the captains can finish. Extend shields, and by the time she says shields, they're already in action. And
Nice.
does it, and the prototype just explodes, and what turned into 4 or 5 manageable pieces is just debris. I mean,
Sparkly dust.
yeah, it's gone. There's nothing left of it. And you luckily brought your shields up. Well, we're out of combat, but you took a couple points of damage in your shields, but it's fine. Once you reset the shields, it'll be fine. And it was pretty impressive.
That was awesome. Yeah. Those are some good rolls.
So, with that, we will go ahead and get this equipment on board. And you said you guys are going to go to Starbase 12 and get
Yeah, we need
repairs. Just to let you know, the cloak system itself isn't very big, so it's only 5 tons of equipment. But it's it's like 80% cloak. 80% of it's there. Okay. The reason I gave you these numbers is because when your repair time comes, they're going to tell you how much it is to repair the ship. Because you have the salvage, will allow you to, instead of pay out of your characters as a group's SP that we've been keeping track of, right? Our XP. This repair is going to come out of your XP pool. Because this is something that happened beyond your operation. Because trigger happy, get you points. But we're going to offset some of that XP because you brought equipment to melt down and repair the ship. That's why there's a weight attachment to it.
Okay.
Just making a little logistics fun. So your engineer and your engineer probably definitely wants to know that there's 30 tons of shield emitter, 30 tons of engine impulse, and 5 tons of cloaking equipment.
Noted on the ship notes.
Okay. So with that, you enter a nice lazily warp to head towards Starbase 12. You're going lazily because you don't want to your one of your nacelles that are currently a little wobbly on its pylon to go flying away. That pair of warp engines, let's say it's the bottom 2, those pair will not be used during your transit. You don't even power them on.
And victory laps are usually slow anyway, so we're good.
Okay. So, if you want to figure out what the mystery is, you're probably going to have to listen to the end of the episode. My players will have to also, because we're going to have a voiceover as to what actually happened with this whole communication and conflict.
Nice.
And with that, we're going to close out the episode. And credits are rolling.
This was fun.
You'll share the link once it goes up, right?
Yes, it's going to take a couple days because we got to get the voiceover work. Because depending on how you guys played, we have to write a VO script for the end. So we couldn't write VO script until we figure out how you guys ended the game. Depending on what you guys did.
That's kind of cool.
you guys might have flew over there and was like, hey, where did that transmission come from? We want to go see. That would completely change it. So
Right.
we had to see how you guys finish the session out before we create the VO script.
Oh, this was exciting. This was a really fun session.
Well, next one's going to be you guys doing a vacation episode.
Yep,
I
we
can
did a
make it.
Ryza episode.
Because those are always so good.
You guys and your roles were killing me.
It was
Dice
fun.
loves us today.
So,
And Captain looks good with her boxing gloves on. I like it. I like it.
Too tired.
Yeah, that was awesome. Doc fully supported. That was awesome.
Coconut.